Late today. Welcome to Pine Grove News Live. 6:03 p.m. here on the East Coast. Yeah, I did it. Waiting around. Waiting around. I hate waiting. I get bored when I wait. And I fell asleep. Yeah, like 3 minutes before we were to go on. Any case, it's it's Friday. It's Friday on the East Coast. It's 84 degrees, and we will continue to be in and around that temperature over the weekend. The two tropical storms, or the hurricanes, are now tropical storms over there in the Pacific. And let's see what else. A few things going on. I hope everyone's doing okay. So let's see, what can we do? We can go to the news. After all, that's what we're here for. First, we'll bring you to yesterday's earthquake, 6.6 Vanuatu. Let me go see. I'm just going to go see if we are live on YouTube. And apparently we are. We'll see. I'm just going to go see. Yeah, very loud. Okay, 6.6 Vanuatu. I think that's. There was another one that was reported, and I didn't receive it in my email. Don't know why. I had to figure that out yesterday. But today there's 6.8 that was sent to me in the email. USGS right here, it says it's a 6.9. There has been a threat of a tsunami, and this is off the coast of Java. Not sure if that was the same place. We're trying to figure out, World Watchman and myself, whether that was the one that hit during Christmas time. You remember that? Caused that big tsunami. A lot of people lost their lives. I know there was one in Christchurch, and it wasn't that one, I don't think. But anyway, right now there was the USGS in this report does not say that that there was a tsunami warning. I got that from this. Okay, even though, see, this tsunami warning after the magnitude 6.8 earthquake strikes off island Java in Indonesia. From the Independent. I don't know where they got it. It says the USGS. I think that's where they got it, but I didn't see any tsunami warning when it was posted in my email. Anyway, we'll try and keep you up to date. Whether it was canceled or issued first and canceled afterwards, I do not know at this moment. Just that there was a 6.8 called 6.9. I don't know why they go back and forth with it, with a tsunami warning. So they issued this warning, swaying buildings in the capital. Indonesia's disaster mitigation agency said residents on the Banten coast of Java should immediately evacuate to higher ground. I would call that a warning. So there were no immediate reports of damage or casualties, but we'll keep you up to date on that one. I'm sure somebody will let us know. All right, let's keep going. Rumors of war. India massing 80,000 troops in Kashmir. Pakistan puts army on and air force on alert. Remember, these are the two that have their own or had their own nuclear race. They both have nuclear weapons. And I don't know if this has anything to do with China massing troops on a border. I heard a border, did not know what border, but I could see maybe they're massing them there. I don't know. So I don't know what's going on. This Kashmir has been, it has been disputed over, fought over for a long time. But anyway, more rumors of war. All right, well, yeah, and we keep hearing about this one. This is from CNBC. I gotta go do something right now. Let's go get it. Okay, come on. Everything is running a little bit slow. No, that's not what I wanted. There it is. All right. Come on. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe solar wind. Huh. The RPC server is unavailable. I don't know what's going on with this, man. Come on, you can open up now. All right, so let's get that out there. That's that Fair Use Act. Copyright under 17 USC 107. Under the guise of, well, news. Okay, so let's get back to it. Extreme ice melt in Greenland. Now, we talked about this the other night. Threatens coastal communities across the world, scientists warn. Now, the only thing I've got to say about that, okay, talk to somebody about this, and I don't know, I'll just put it out there, and y'all can discuss, what your opinion of it is. Hello, Laura. God bless. Good to see you. So we got this thing about the ice melt, okay? And these icebergs, whatever, Greenland. The thing I'm going to throw out there is they're all warned, the scientists, okay, that with all this melt, that the ocean levels will rise. And so thus the warning for coastal communities. My question, thing I want to throw out there to you is, and this was brought up, I thought it was a pretty good idea, theory anyway. Now, what does water do when it freezes? Just figure, take a cup of water or take a bottle of water, okay, put it in your freezer. What does that bottle do when it turns to ice? It expands, right? Kind of expands. And if you fill the bottle up all the way, it'll just literally break that bottle open. It expands. So, if this ice is melting, even if it's melting from the bottom, okay, reportedly with the oceans warming up, now wouldn't that actually lower the coastal waters? Because this ice has expanded once it's frozen, okay? Now, if it melts, it's going to, all that space that this iceberg took up is now going to disappear into liquid water. And we know that ice expands when it's, water expands when it's frozen, right? So I would think that the coastal waters would reduce, not expand. But then, of course, you got to throw in the iceberg with the top part, which has been, talked about, that we have more ice on the top than the bottom. So we're recording more ice, surface ice, than we are ocean, underwater ice. I'm just, I just threw it out there one time. Well, what if the icebergs just flip over? I mean, you know, have they done this before? Has anybody recorded it? I mean, you get so much surface ice and the ice on the bottom is melting, it's just going to flip over. But that wasn't, the theory that we were talking about. We're talking about the theory of the ice expanding when it gets frozen, or the water expanding when it gets frozen. Now, if it melts, it's going to reduce, the amount of water in the ocean. The space that ice took up is going to shrink. So how is the oceans going to rise? Somebody explain that to me. Because I think it's just another deception, another thing to put out there that we're all supposed to worry about. God did set the oceans and their boundaries. Now, some may try and change things. I mean, we've seen, ports and lakes and other things disappear. Well, forget the lakes. We're talking about the oceans. So anyways, I don't know. I'm going to throw it out there. Let me know what you all think. Will the coastal waters actually rise once this ice melts, taking up less space? Let me know what you think. That's all I threw out this thing out there for, because that's all we're hearing now. Scientists warn. They're warning you. Be warned. Oh, and this from New Straight Times. This is the first time. Let me see if I can. Whoops. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen that way. I wanted to see if it's got feed in there that I can subscribe to. Okay. Here we go. One added. And that's how you do it, folks. Little bit at a time. Indonesia. Okay. Not enough that they're having, earthquakes down there and all around them and things crumbling, but now Indonesia declares an emergency as forest fires rage in Sumatra, Kalimantan. Wow. I mean, that's it's a big island. Indonesia. So, more fires, people. And the whole thing is, remember, that everything, temperatures are rising. It's getting hotter. So things are burning up. Start fires, because it's really hot. So hot starts fires. Yes, hot can, dry stuff out. And in any case, I mean, nature usually does it itself with lightning and other means to clear all this dead stuff to grow or have new stuff come in. Thousands of military and police personnel are to douse forest fires after declaring an emergency in 6 provinces on the islands of Sumatra and in the province of Kalimantan and on Borneo Island. Has increased to 124 intense fires detected. Yeah. There you go, folks. We still got the Russian one burning out of control. President Trump, calling Putin saying, hey, if you want our help, we'll come help you. But Putin says, well, it's too late now. We're just going to let them all burn out. That's basically, what are you going to do? Anyways, and those fires from Russia are now, becoming a problem with the air quality, and the smoke is coming over to Alaska and British Columbia and Washington State. We're getting that smoke over here. Well, not here in the East Coast, but the West Coast is. All right, so public health emergency declared in Philadelphia due to hepatitis A outbreak. And pay attention to this one, folks, because this is not just about hepatitis A outbreak. I'll clue you in on this. First of all, I got to set this up because you won't be able to hear it. I don't think. Set it up anyway. All right.
Health officials in Philadelphia have declared a public health emergency because of a spike in cases of hepatitis A. Healthcare agencies are now trying to vaccinate those who are most at risk for the infection.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? If you didn't hear that from him, listen to her.
Action News reporter Catherine Scott has the latest.
There's been a large increase of hepatitis A cases in the city, particularly over the last several months. This is a virus that can be prevented with a vaccination.
Yeah, so virus that can be prevented with the vaccination. Okay, both of them, you know, within the first 10 seconds of them speaking, vaccination. So that's what it's about, folks. Hepatitis A has been there a couple months, can be prevented with vaccinations. I guess they need to take one of those all-in-one vaccinations, right? Cure everything, whether you got it or not. Give you all kinds of viruses and you know, whatever. Yeah, no thank you. I'll let, you know, I know your immune system. What are they doing to our immune system? Anyways, perfect look. Yeah, vaccinations. You must get your vaccinations. Vaccinations here. Free Thought Project. Do you believe in certain conspiracy theories? Well, the FBI may now consider you to be a domestic terrorist threat. This is not the first place I've heard this, folks. Yeah. If you are a conspiracy nut or mention any kind of conspiracy, FBI is going to now classify you as a domestic terrorist threat. Are you serious? Serious? Yeah. Crazy stuff, eh? The Federal Bureau of Investigators now considers conspiracy theories to be a domestic terrorist threat. See, they even say it. Seriously? This week, Yahoo News reported that the FBI, for the first time, has identified fringe conspiracy theories as a domestic terrorist threat. How many times are they going to say that? Domestic terrorist threat. Domestic terror. Their bulletin, okay, dated May 30th, describes conspiracy theory-driven domestic extremists as a growing threat and notes that it is the first such report to do so. It lists a number of arrests, including some that haven't been publicized, related to violent incidents motivated by fringe beliefs. Give me a break. The document specifically mentions QAnon, a shadowy network that believes in a deep state conspiracy against President Trump, and Pizzagate, the theory that a pedophile ring, including Clinton associates, was being run out of the basement of a Washington, D.C. pizza restaurant, which didn't actually have a basement. How do they know? So there you go, folks. Not only is freedom of speech gone, but now, you know, with your citizen control mechanisms in place, yeah, now that Facebook, Twitter, YouTube now got their AI algorithms out there and not only taking people off, but making sure they never speak again by arresting them, putting them in that dark hole where they don't have to tell you why. They can just disappear you. Well, they can certainly try. People know. You're only going to be able to do so much, and then everything's just going to break. Wow. Conspiracy theorists are now domestic terrorists. I don't agree with that in any way, shape, or form. We're entitled to our opinion, and that's what it is. It's an opinion. Conspiracies? Well, that depends on who's it directed at, right? Anyway, let's get on to some other crazy news, man. It's all crazy. We'll get through it. Daily Mail, okay? UK's National Enquirer. Crumbling dam is still critical risk of burst. Hundreds face being homeless until next week after police warn people to stay out of the Whaley Bridge due to substantial threat of life despite RAF heroics. There was something else mentioned besides this bridge. It wasn't just a bridge, it was something else. The Todd Brook Reservoir, the dam there, could still burst any minute and allow millions of tons of water. Yeah, true. And so I was told by a World Watchman today that he posted this on Twitter and he got a huge backlash about it. I don't know why, but anyways, there appears to be somebody who wants some kind of response or whatever about this Whaley Bridge in the UK and this Todd Brook Reservoir dam. There is a picture out there, and that was one of the biggest things. They said that this picture wasn't of the dam, which it's not. I mean, not of the bridge, which it's not the bridge. It's a picture of the dam. But in any case, more from the Daily Mail, I guess. Holiday makers in Mexico are being warned about a crippling sickness, parasite, that is infecting tourists for the 5th year in a row. Well, you know about these stories. They've been going on for weeks now, right? What was it? Was it Haiti? With the couple, it started with the couple that got sick, then died, drinking out of this mini bar, I guess. Certain chemical was put in particular drinks that is illegal in most every country except for the United States. And anyways, there's all kinds of things seem to be going on. Crippling sickness with these parasites, people trying to poison each other. I don't know if it's people trying to poison each other or I guess that's the basic headline, right? People trying to poison, regardless of what name you put on the people and then the people. People being whoever in Mexico, whoever in Haiti at the time, and the people, the workers or establishment or something bigger. Yeah, we won't call it a conspiracy because it's actually happened. Okay. It's just the names and the places will change to protect the innocent. Guests in the Riviera Maya and the Cancun have been infected with cyclophora parasite. Yeah, we've heard about this before. I think this is the same thing that happened in Haiti, isn't it? I think it's Haiti where those couple died, and there was a couple other people after that died from the same thing. With the bodily, of course, we won't talk about Florida, the Marquis who believes that they actually died from something else because the body, I guess, deteriorated very quickly. And with Ebola, that could happen. In any case, there's stuff going on everywhere, people. There's all kinds, and there has been for a long time. People get sick. People get food poisoning. People purposely poison other people. Governments are out there performing experiments on their, other people or their own people. It's been going on for decades. Okay? And this is just putting a light on it or shutting the door on it. One or the other. Just letting you know these things. Basically Matthew 24, pestilences and things like that. Just wanted to make sure that you know. I know you know. All right, what else we got here? You can hear more about that too. We really got to worry about that Ebola and the measles and the swine flu in LA, rat infestation. Got to worry about, NASA and their, oh, what a beautiful bird just landed on the deck. I saw a beautiful red one today. I think it was a red cardinal. Not a blue jay. I don't normally see them sitting in a late afternoon sun on my railing. Interesting. I love birds. Yeah. I wish they could talk. I bet they could talk way back when Adam, first gave them all names. I bet you that he was able to communicate with them. I could see that happening. Don't you? Don't you see that may have happened at one time? That we were that close? They were created, just before we were. Or before Adam was. Right? And so people get very, strangely attached to some of their animals and creatures of God. And this one from, I guess they call it the AV Club. Yeah, let me go see if I can grab this link here too. Sorry, I normally do this beforehand, but I didn't realize that I already have this one? Really? Okay. Well, what I wanted to say here, folks, apologize for that little delay, is that we've heard about these things before, but this one I'm talking about, God's creatures. I mean, dogs. This woman married her dog on live TV. But it's fun and not creepy, right? We think? I think it's really freaking creepy. I think it's very sad. Very sad indeed. I've seen women, and mostly women, okay? I don't know, it's because obviously they're not getting enough love from the people that they know. Or they're not feeling it from the people they know. And that's a shame. That's a tragedy. I've seen women, marrying trees. There was a time that I had probably a website where you can go on and find a lot of these stories. It's just sad, people. And this has been going on for a while. This is not a new thing. I mean, yes. I mean, our pets, our dogs, our cats. I don't know about birds, but they can be very loyal. If you love them, feed them, pet them, take care of them, they're very loyal. I mean, they greet you every time you come home. They want to be with you all the time that you're home. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it. But to actually go on live TV and marry your dog, that's just a whole new direction of mental illness. And anyways, let's go on. This science alert, and I believe it is Science Alert. That is the actual web page. Let's go see if they have a link. No links found. Okay, so tectonic plate under Oregon is being slowly ripped apart. Now, we've been hearing about, off the coast of Oregon, there's this new super volcano, supposedly even bigger than Yellowstone, that has come to light just in the past. I don't think, maybe they've known about it longer, but there's activity. The caldera, I guess, is moving, and I believe that the calderas in many of these volcanoes are moving. They've always moved, like Hawaii, the island of Hawaii. I mean, those moved all the way from the North Pacific down to the South Pacific. Yellowstone has moved quite a bit over, the millennia. I don't know how you can actually, well, they can. Anyways, I'll leave that to them. But, and then with NASA and their crisscrossing, over the San Andreas Fault and the other faults that they're talking about down there that are kind of attached to the San Andreas, but spread out. I mean, that the ones where getting all these, foreshocks or aftershocks, whatever you want to call them. So many of them. Something's going on down there. I think that they're afraid, and I've heard this, it's not my idea, I've heard it out there, that they are afraid that the whole thing's going to go off. Personally, that's my opinion. It's not a conspiracy theorist or theory. It's actually, a NASA theory. I mean, why else would they be checking the faults, the San Andreas like that? I mean, it was almost like they were stitching it. If you trace them going back and forth, it was like they were stitching it, kind of hoping they could keep it closed, I guess. Between that and the Cascadias, there's some big things, big movements. You're talking about FEMA equipment being down there, and we do have a FEMA warning out. Okay, we have a headline, and I'll get to it. I'll show you the headline. I heard this, I believe it was yesterday, that FEMA actually put out a date for the 7th of August. And I'm trying to see if I can find that. Yeah, right here. So this, let's see, from End Time Headlines. FEMA is to conduct a nationwide emergency alert test on August 7th. Have they ever done this before? I know the president told us he was going to do it, but he was putting out that alert to make sure that he could contact people if something else were to cut him off from the people. Say they take the internet down, which they will for one reason or another. They're testing it. They've been testing it for a while. They've been testing blackouts. We'll talk about that too. And that's not conspiracy because that's happening. So on the thing I'm bringing this up for, first of all, so you know what's going to happen. That's next Wednesday at 2:20 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, EDT. I believe that's Eastern Daylight Time at 2:20 p.m. So there's no need to lunge for the storm shelter when those annoying screeches belt out on the televisions and radios across the country. It's just a test, says, that's what they say. FEMA planned to conduct a nationwide test of the emergency alert system next Wednesday afternoon to ensure that the system is able to transmit emergency information across multiple forms of media with minutes of a catastrophe. I'm sorry. So the emergency alert system is the successor of several previous alert networks designed during the Cold War to allow the president to communicate with the country in the event of a catastrophe such as a nuclear strike. Folks, I don't believe this is a conspiracy either. I believe that we have fact backing these things up. I mean, you must remember the Boston Marathon tragedy that happened there. They were also having a drill that day for the same exact thing. If you all remember 9/11, okay, and there was a drill going on that day. And it was not a drill on the other side or far away from where things were happening. Yes, there were two aircraft, two fighter jets that were sent in another direction on purpose, okay? And by the time that they were called, they were way too far out to turn around and intercept these planes that were flying over the city, New York. That is not done. They usually fly up the Hudson, I guess. That's the river. A drill was happening that day, same day that it happened. And we can go into other things, but then they just might cut me off. I mean, you know about, my state of Connecticut, right? There was a drill going on that day. There are drills going on in other places at other times. Just remember, next Wednesday is going to be a test. At least they don't say it's going to be a drill, but isn't that what it is? Just beware, people. I hope you get this out and spread it out to others. It's out there, man. Next Wednesday, 2:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know why my alarm's going off. Okay, what else we got? Yeah, that was the same thing. All right, so where are we? We're way down here. Yeah, I jumped all the way down to the FEMA. Yeah, and this is a lot of talk that's going on too. All I have to say with this, folks, with all this stuff. First, I got to say with all this stuff that's going on, even the Christians that I know who proclaim to be Christians, they get very fearful when they hear this stuff. I mean, Jesus tells us to be courageous, be strong and courageous. That's what he tells us. That's what he's told the Hebrews. That's what he told, I guess it was Joshua, when he was told to go and eliminate, 31 or 33 countries, basically of giants. He told them often to be strong and courageous. And so we have to remember these things. First of all, we are not appointed to these terrors, these darts. We're not appointed to God's wrath. And apparently, the last 7 years, I guess it's just the Jewish people. I don't know. 7-year tribulation. We're not appointed to that either, apparently. Depends on, what you believe as far as the tribulation, whether it be a pre-trib, mid-trib, or post-trib. Well, I do believe, first of all, that God's people, if they believe that they're God's people and they have that faith that Christ gives them, and I do believe that we are protected under the blood of Jesus Christ. He said so. I do believe, even if it goes on around us, like I do believe in Psalms 91, then many will fall at our right hand, 10,000, left hand, 1,000, but nothing will come to us. So stop being fearful. Even if you are to go, and we could go in 5 minutes, we can go in a second from now. In a blink of an eye, we could go. But why would we want to be fearful? You think that come on, man. The closer we get, the longer the tribulation, the more we're refined and washed clean and made holy. That takes time, and you can't be fearful. You know that once you're gone and you have your belief that you're with Jesus Christ. Absent from the body is present with Jesus. So what are you worried about? Why are you fearful? It should be a joyous thing, knowing the times that you're in and that these things will soon come to an end and Jesus will come back for us. Jesus will come back. The day of wrath, that last day, we won't be here. Apparently, and I kind of believe it, I'm just not sold 100% on it yet. We are definitely not appointed to his wrath. We will be gone. We'll probably be coming back with him. 10,000 of his saints, I guess, or angels and saints. So don't be fearful, folks. This is a joyous occasion. I mean, no, it does weigh heavy on our souls to see other people suffering. Yes, and we do suffer too. We have to. We're here for a reason. We're not here to just experience human life. We're here to learn things. We're here to experience things. And it's spiritual. It's not physical. Yes, we have to be here in physical form to work to that spiritual nature. You'll understand. Stop being fearful. Stop worrying. I mean, yes, I mean, even if a spaceship just opened up some kind of, portal right outside my window and this huge lizard-like creature came out of it and did that within a fraction of a second, yes, I would jump out of the suddenness of it. But my mind's already made up. My mind already understands that anything could happen. Fallen angels, these ones that, fell, they could change themselves into anything they want. So we need to be ready for anything and everything. That's why we need to, listen to some of this news. Some of it's just, junk that doesn't really need to be out there. Anyways. Yeah, I should put it. Anyways, I won't go out there. So, dangerous reversal of the planet's magnetic field, which more cancers and electronic blackouts. You've seen blackouts before. They'll happen again. Could we get hit by an EMP and have, the whole Earth down? Yeah, but we won't be here for that. Because within the first year, 90% of the population will die of starvation. We're not appointed to that. I mean, I believe that some things are being tested. Blackout in New York, in Venezuela. I believe that weapons are being tested. People are being tested. In any case, we can go into a lot of talk about that stuff and get into more detail. But let's just do the news, let you know what's out there right now, and be done with it all, right? All right, we got 3 more articles left. So we'll just read the headline. Pentagon testing mass surveillance balloons across the U.S. So the 4K, the Wi-Fi, the 5G, the 4G, the TVs, the cameras, the phones, that's not enough to, mass surveil you. So, yeah, they're going to send up balloons now that you can see, right? Maybe not, I don't know. Across the U.S., it's giving more money to waste more money to surveil you. U.S. military conducting wide area surveillance tests. Okay, more tests across 6 Midwest states using experimental high altitude balloons. Documents filed with the Federal Communications Commission reveal that 25 unmanned solar powered balloons are being launched from rural South Dakota and drifting 250 miles through an area spanning portions of Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, and Missouri before concluding in central Illinois. Wade, brother, he's there out in the highways right now. I believe it was Nebraska, which is probably not anywhere near these, or on the other side. Anyway, traveling in the stratosphere at altitudes of up to 65,000 feet. That's twice the height of highest commercial airplane, about 35,000 feet. I believe the commercial lines go, 20, 30,000 feet, something like that. Yeah, and they're going to go double that. Yeah, and you have no idea. Maybe you do. You know, the amount of space between us, the ground, and, you know, hitting the outer atmosphere to actually be in space. I don't believe that we've actually, not man anyway, has been past that barrier because of the Van Allen belt. You even heard some people talking about it again recently about the Orion, Orion project that is actually going to try to take man past this Van Allen belt. You know, that this barrier that was put there specifically for that. Our satellites are not in space. Well, no, they could be in space. I'm sorry. They can get out there. I mean, some of these things you would think would be fried, these electronics, especially with all the specific waves coming from everywhere. Anyway, I won't get into that because I'm still learning about that stuff. Been watching that Purple Kool-Aid guy. Maybe that's the name of his site. I don't know, but you know, it looks like the Kool-Aid guy commercial you see on TV, only purple, and he talks about and goes through. I think I talked about it the last video. Explains all that stuff very well. I'm getting to know at least what he's talking about more, learning that stuff. But there you go, more surveillance for you folks, like they really needed it. This is a problem. It's been a problem here for a long time. But now we got this to worry about. First, it was the pesticides, Monsanto's, now acquired by Bayer, and all the suits that follow. The bees, the number of bees that were killed, died off, murdered, whatever, experimented on. Now we got the 5G. And they're going to roll it out in California. Yeah. And they've been experimenting in the UK too. We'll find there's been experimentation there. People reporting brain damage already. But anyway, hundreds of bees dropped dead around the 5G towers in California. And some of them, they're not even hiding anymore. They're putting out there like regular Christmas trees on the side of the road. You know, they're not as tall as you would think, some of these. They need a lot of them. And these smaller ones, I don't know. Maybe it's done with the LED lighting they changed out in your street lamps in your neighborhoods so that you wouldn't, you know, make a fuss about it. Anyways, so this bizarre footage showing hundreds of bees dead on the floor surrounding what appeared to be 2 5G towers that have gone viral. The super fast broadband has sparked controversy since rolling out this year, with health experts claiming it could have serious side effects on humans. And there are now claims online that the bees could also be affected after a video went viral. The clip, taken in Sierra Madre, California, shows the lifeless bodies of the bees lying on the ground. I have not seen the video. I guess we can go to the Daily Star and see that. Let's see if that will work. Let's go to the full report. Come on, shouldn't be taking that long. I don't have 5G, but I have pretty fast speed here. Until now. Anyways, we can start closing some things. I've had triple the amount of feeds I've had here before and had no problem. From the Daily Star, so that, you know, could be, this is another, in my opinion, tabloid type thing. You remember the National Enquirer when you went to the grocery store and you read this National Enquirer while you were waiting to be rung up? It's got some, okay, here we go. Yeah, it was blocking me. So here's the video.
That they have these things up here and they don't even know if they're safe for people. But I can tell you that they're definitely are not safe for our environment because it is killing bees all over the place over here.
I
And
see one bee,
who knows what else.
two
There's
bees.
one right there. As we go over here, they have 2 towers in between each other. As you go over here, you see a lot of dead bees everywhere.
Well, the headline had a lot more dead bees than we can see in this video, that's for
All over
sure.
the ground.
But they are dead. More than you would normally see, I guess.
Ground. A bunch of them. And there's another tower that's about 40 feet away from this first one. And
Yeah, that's the thing about this 5G.
we come here all the time, and I never noticed. I noticed the dead bees and couldn't.
So, I just, unfortunately, I have, a bad feeling about this. They don't really care about the people. People have got to stand up against this in order for it not to happen. I mean, really, do you really need faster speeds? I mean, you could pay for any amount of speed that you want, right? They have different layers. I mean, different levels of speed. Yeah, you can get a 100 plus. I'm at 100 kilobytes per second. That's a lot. Okay, normally I use probably, I don't know, 30, 40. It's quick enough for me. I mean, they're slowing down, but I have a feeling that there's other things that are making some of these things while I do my video slow it down. But normally, I don't need anything higher than that. And I have 30 tabs open, 30 web pages, some with videos in them, and they're playing, okay, in the background. You can go see if I go start, what do they call that, Task Manager. You can go and see that I'll have 15 at least tabs open in Firefox. We can go do that right now. Control Alt, let's see. Control Alt Delete. Let's go try it. Okay, I'll show you exactly what it means. And you don't need 5G. 5G is for the military. They may need it. We don't need it. And I don't know why that's not working. There we go. That's the first time I've seen that. Prepare and security options. Task Manager. Let's go. Yeah, it's just purposely being slow right now. It's not this slow. Could be the time of day. And there you go. There's 13 of them open. Okay, we can just go and do it like that. 13 open there. Says that there's 2 e-swords opened up. All this stuff is open. All these things are on. So that looks to me like more than 13 tabs. But anyway, you know what I mean. And I'm on a broadcast, a live broadcast. And I don't need any more than that. I don't. What I need is not to have interruptions purposely. Feedback, other things. Those things can be taken care of. You can get, designated lines instead of sharing a line. Or even sharing a line at 100 kilobytes a second. Maybe it's megabytes a second. Kilobytes is the lower amount. I think it's megabytes. Let's see if we can go, no, that's volume. Okay, hold on. No, we won't do that. Let's just end this. Okay. And so you remember I think this will be the last day that we actually track this unless something drowned potatoes at a Walmart store, okay? Bound to have copycats. And here you go. Teen urinates on Walmart shelf days after a woman sullied another store's potatoes. She was also arrested. This person will be too. Don't you people know that there are so many cameras in Walmart? There are cameras everywhere. You're probably carrying a camera that can be used against you. That's why you've been given it. That's why the whole population has been given these phones with cameras. So they can use it for whenever they want. They're all over the world. You figure that out. All these people, millions upon millions upon millions, who have phones, even Obama cheap phones, have cameras in them. Anyway, this last one, and this is the problems that happens with these things: cross-contamination, tampering with all this stuff. The only thing you do is hurt other people. And I know this is a very dark time, a lot of hateful people, even though the LBGQ, thing is out there and they're all supposed to be gay and prideful, and all we have is hate and darkness. So apparently this woman loses clumps of her hair after Nair, N-A-I-R, was allegedly mixed into a conditioner bought at Walmart. Yeah, last time I knew, I'm pretty sure this Nair is to get rid of hair, right? That's just gross, the picture. So with that, we got to worry about that stuff because people don't care about each other anymore. It's all about them. And if it's not about them, they'll try to get the attention on them. That's the problem. So with that, anyone or everyone, we'll leave it with that. Remember, FEMA, next Wednesday, the 7th at 2:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, FEMA will be sending out alerts, testing the emergency alert system on TVs, radios, and I don't know about the phones, maybe. So with that, everyone, have a great Sabbath day. Enjoy each other's company, just soak in the Lord's word. Take that in, man. We're going to need to know it. Yeah, he knows. It's 7:01, okay? I'm going to leave you with that. 7:01, I should be off the computer and all set and ready to take his call. Anyway, God bless you, everyone. I'm probably going to come out and do something tomorrow. I still have to work on my car, trying to figure out if I need a new starter and maybe get that fixed. So I'm going to, like always, I try to do something on the weekend. But we'll see. So in the meantime, come on, people, let's just, stop fighting, stop taking offense, stop hating on each other. Can't we all just get along? That still rings true in my ear. So with that, adios and peace out.